During my time as a gamer, I've taken a certain path with all big games that come out. And that is, as soon as a game I like the look of is announced, I stop looking it up. I did the same for Uncharted 4, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Sunset Overdrive, and now, of course, this. Tom Clancy's The Division. So you can imagine my surprise when I see the rumblings on Twitter of hashtag The Division and think, yeah, that game that was shown all the way back at E3 2013. What was that game about again? I booted up the game and update. Okay, well let's just start anyway. What? I can't even start the game? Jump cut. After an impressive opening and, to be honest, fairly average customization options, I was able to make my character look like Jeremy Jan's dad. I did a few warm-up missions and boom. Okay, this is all starting to make a bit more sense now. The Division is a sort of open world, work together sort of game that you play at your own accord, which is great for me. Because one thing I love to do in these sort of games is grind. For hours and hours so far in this game, I've just been collecting phones and doing loads of side missions, picking up random loot by colleagues, and loving every minute of it. It's exactly what you expect. One cool idea looped over and over and over again in a huge arena. Now, looking at the main story so far, for me it's done a nice job of actually explaining the crazy amounts of customization, upgrades and mods that are available to you. Now, I don't know the exact amount, but damn, there are loads. I'm sure someone online will be able to put together the perfect soldier for us all to copy, but until that time, playing around and upgrading your magazine on your machine gun whilst adding the left trigger to drop a sensory turret, modifying your backpack to carry more items, and dismantling the guns and clothing that you don't want to make even better guns and clothing is just so much fun to play around and experiment with. Heck, in some play sessions, I'd just be sitting there for hours just going through all the different types of customization and getting the very, very best I can. So in a nutshell, if customization is your thing, then this game has got it nailed. But with all that said, if you're thinking to yourself a third-person perspective game, open world shooting with customization options, it doesn't seem too out of the ordinary. Well, you're right, but that is until you start playing online with your friends. This is the Division's ace card, because if you ask me, playing the main story in one player, which I did for a couple of missions, is a bit too repetitive and, dare I say, a little bit boring. However, playing with your buddies online, giving each other advice and redoing missions on harder modes, not just to get the extra loot, but to help out your mates level up, which is an absolute must due to the game's extremely challenging level up system, is really the only way to go about playing this game. Now, when it comes down to the actual story of the game, if you ask me, it's alright. It's got some nice cutscenes here, like I've already said, but sometimes after you've done a mission here and there, just like most open world games, you feel like you're doing it over and over again, and it's just all there as a little bit of a filler, you know, rather than actually progressing the story. Take that as you want, but if you're like me and you like grinding through the game anyway, then that's not a bad thing at all. Now, I've already talked about the repetitiveness of the game, and boy, I'm not lying. For such a long time, I feel like the game has thrown the exact same fights at you over and over again, which doesn't help because all the bad guys don't necessarily look that unique from one another. You run in, hide behind a wall and shoot 10 of the same enemy. Sometimes they have more health than others, but really, that's it. That is until you progress slightly and see 10 of another enemy. Couple that with the fact that the game, although looking pretty damn good, also looks pretty damn repetitive. Every street you turn doesn't really feel any different than the last. Nothing here really seems that memorable to me in that sense, however. But I don't care that it feels like I'm fighting off hordes and hordes of Blazing Squad rejects, or the stupidity of one guy running full pelt into a group of seriously armed guys with a baseball bat, although he is actually one of the few enemies that sometimes does cause you a little bit of harm. And the reason for this is the more points I get, the more my character's medical ward can be built up, which in turn gets me more perks, which makes me more powerful, and I can go back, do the same mission again, stronger and stronger, beat it on a harder mission, and what's best, I can do all of this with my mates. So all in all, Ubisoft's The Division, although confusing at first, and to be honest not running 100% perfectly all the time, has been more than great fun to play. Cooperatively online, that is. I see myself putting some serious time into this game. Even after completion, going into the dark zones and the customization, it's just going to be too much for my curiosity to handle. Now, if you're going to ask me, should you buy it? I think the answer is a definite yes. But get it whilst your friends have already got it, and jump in while the going's good. Because honestly, when the dust is settled, which is probably going to be a fair few years from now, I don't know if this game is going to be that good. A solid 8 out of 10 game.
I'm not gonna shoot anyone.
Now, if you excuse me, I've got to go shoot some more dogs for experience points.
Okay.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out my review of The Division. If you want to check out any of my other videos, click some of the links that you see up there. Make sure to come and check me out on social media by searching for Slope's Game Room. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you don't like it. And if you want to support the show, click the lovely P shape that you see on the screen. This is DJ Slope signing out, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.